Hello, everybody. I pray that everyone is well and blessed. Today we have a very special guest. This is my husband, my twin flame, my twinning.
You know it. Twinning. How you doing? Welcome.
What do you want to be called? Because I'm gonna call you Babe. What should they call
my name
you?
is Russo. My name is Russo. Man, you see us in the street, holler at us, man. You know, we're very sociable people, I say.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And my husband is joining me today because my family got to go on an awesome adventure experience, and I've wanted to have my husband here to just share with me in the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as you guys can see behind us, if you can hear,
Paradiso.
We are in Costa Rica.
Yes.
And we are sitting in Cahuita.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our third trip here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do another video talking about Costa Rica and why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here this time, and this time we got to fulfill my dream. It's been on my list, my bucket list, to meet with an indigenous Bribri shaman.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've been talking about that since, you've been talking about that since the first trip. So
yes,
since the very first trip, so I'm speaking about it.
Yes, and so he has to help me fill in the details because I remember, or my memory is sometimes I just forget. So we were here the first time, and we went on the trip with some expats, expat couple had taken
Mm-hmm.
us to
the waterfall, Cataratas.
Yes, to the Peristo, to the
Mm-hmm.
tourist Bribri Falls, as we found out.
Mm-hmm.
But while we were there, just had an amazing experience for me. I'm not sure what it was, the waterfall. I don't know. It was just such an amazing experience. And while we were there, I had this, I don't know if somebody mentioned it. I'm not sure how the word shaman came into my awareness, but it came into my awareness at that time. And we were talking with the couple that were there about, about a shaman and being in Bribri. And they were saying that there's shamans here that are up in the mountains
Mm-hmm.
in Bribri. And what did they say what it was going to take to get there?
Yeah, they just made it seem it was just discouraging in the sense that it made it seem like it was 3 or 4 days trek through the jungle. You got to climb over rope bridges and just all of these different things. And like for the most part, we're always traveling with the child, and so we can't do anything like that. But no, definitely wasn't the case. I don't know what they were talking about, but yeah, no, that's not what we talking about.
Yes. And so there was a YouTube video that I was watching, and it's so funny because I can't find it now, of course, but it was a video that I was watching several months ago I've been studying shamanism for a while, so I was, looking for a Bribri shaman specifically, and I found this video of some people that had taken a tour, and they had did I think it was like a equinox, a solstice, a ceremony with the shaman here, and in the comments somebody listed the WhatsApp number for a tour, and so I saved it in my phone months ago before I wasn't even. Okay, I'm always thinking about traveling, but I wasn't specifically thinking about coming to Costa Rica, but I knew I would be back. And so I saved the number in my WhatsApp. And when I got here, I just sent a message to to Jesus, and he set up a tour for us. And we arranged it, and it was so cool for me. It was like, it was an amazing experience just for if I went by myself, but the fact that my husband and my daughter got to go right before her birthday, we went. And so I'm gonna have my husband just kind of explain the trek up there, because I was at the back bringing up the rear. And so my husband was up at the front with Jesus, the guide. And so any knowledge that you want to share in that part, because I didn't get to hear that part.
I would say the first thing that stood out is like we came with the guide, but also like they're dogs. They're dogs that live across the street. They call them chichis in Bribri. They're chichis that live across the street, and when you show up there, they come over and greet you, and these dogs walk up this hillside, this mountain range almost, walk up this thing with you, guide you all the way up to the top. And once you get finished up there, guides you right back down. So that's like the first thing I recall was encountering the dog, like a black dog, big black dog. Like, wow, okay, okay, yeah. So I would say also bring a good pair of shoes if you're gonna go. Bring a good pair of shoes. You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to go with the flip flop game. Yeah, don't take those chances. Bring some flip flops just because, man, you're walking up into those mountains and there's roots from trees growing out of the ground. There's wet patches. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't a walk in the park, but I mean, you know, there's plenty of trees to, you know, hold on to, keep yourself balanced or whatnot. I think a walking stick probably would have made it a little more.
Yes.
Yeah, made it a little more manageable.
For me. Yes, and I was having my blood pressure. I have very low blood pressure, so I had points where I had to stop and just just take a little rest, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there are certain points where it was a clear, okay, you can stand right here and get some rest. And so he is not lying about the shoes. I have Crocs. Like I wear Crocs every day, and for whatever reason, yes, and so they had the Crocs with the go fasters. I had the Crocs slides, and so luckily I wore my tennis shoes, and that really helped get up there. And I would say hydrate because it's hot, it's hot. And hot. Be careful what you carry on your body because you have to carry it up the hill, right?
True.
Yeah. True. And so Jesus, our guide, I don't want to misrepresent or I believe that he may be studying under Abuelo, or I'm not sure if he's related to him somehow, but he speaks Spanish and he speaks Bribri. A bit of Bribri. So he was able to translate for us.
Bienvenido, visitarme y así yo trabajo parte de la cultura. He say, welcome to visit me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming with your family. I work here, the Bribri culture, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes. Wow. My husband speaks
a bit of Spanish.
No, I have un poco Spanish. He can understand and speak a lot more Spanish. So the experience was great. We went up initially. We met with Abuelo Marcelino. His wife and his son were there. Yes. They just talked to us in Bribri so we can hear the dialect. They took us on a medicinal plant tour.
Yes, my favorite part. Like, I'm into the bush medicine. I support it wholeheartedly, like the holistic approach to just medicine and whatnot. And yeah, he was pointing out everything. Like, you know the potential. Like, oh man, I could use some of that. I can.
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He pointed out two things off top that I was interested in. The one for the kidneys, it was, and then there was the one for Sebria for the scalp. He also had the two plants that you need for ayahuasca.
Yeah, the ayahuasca and the other plant. Yeah.
They also said that they have some marijuana, but it grows further up in the mountains, so he didn't have that there. But I definitely asked. He found some beautiful, like, seeds. I'm gonna have to take a picture of them and include them in here some way, but they're like these red and black little berries or seeds. I'm not sure. And he said to give them. They're for the children. So for our daughter and then for our granddaughters. He said you could like make a bracelet or a necklace, and it's for like protection. What was it? Good luck, abundant. I forgot. All kind of things. So we got some of those. We tried some different fruits. We tried a green orange that was it was amazing. It was amazing. And then we had cacao. We got to
grind it up.
You
had to grind it up in the little.
Yes. First we had to. They explained that cacao is like a sacred. what is it, like a plant, or however they
Mhm.
describe it, is sacred, given,
Mhm.
from God to nature, used in ceremony, and that when you take it in
Mhm.
ceremony, it becomes,
Mhm.
spiritual. And you get the cacao. um
Okay.
I don't know what they're called. I just don't like mispronounce saying things wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect the
Okay.
culture and anything, but you get the cacao, and the women,
Seeds or pods or
yes, whatever
whatever.
there are, and the
Yeah.
women prepare the cacao.
Mhm.
And if the women are not there, then it has to be prepared by the
The
elder.
eldest.
The elder. And so you take them, and there's a fire that's prepared, and the
By the
elders,
men.
by the men,
Yeah. The
prepare the
men are the
fire.
fire keepers, and they learn to keep. They begin to keep the fire when they're young boys. They start preparing them for being fire keepers of the fire. So yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And in the fire, Abuelo put a plantain
Mhm.
in there, and so it cooked or in there, and
Mhm.
so he tended the cacao until it was ready. And there'll be video where he's like touching it,
Mhm.
and when it's ready, you have to take it off,
Mhm.
and cool it down, put it in this bowl, and then you have to peel the casing. Remember,
Mhm.
we had to peel the casing off, and then we put it in the press.
Yep.
And the way that they do everything, it's like when we got our turn, the abuelo's wife, she stirred the beans,
Mhm.
and then when it was
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
turn,
Exactly.
she had to hand the spoon to me, and then
Mhm.
I stirred the beans, and then I had to
Mhm.
hand the spoon back to
Well,
her.
they wouldn't let you. They won't let you do it any other way. It has to be
Yes.
that specific way. That's a part of the culture. Like it has to, the person that knows how to do it has to put it. It has to hold your hand.
Yes.
To teach you properly how to do it.
Yes.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And they did the same thing too
Mhm.
with the press. Remember how we
Mhm.
had to
Mhm. Mhm.
put that in there, press it, and so it made like this paste almost. And then you have to put it in a pan, put it on the fire, put it with some water until it burns.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, till it boils, and then it gets then it's prepared for ceremony. And then after that, we got to go to ceremony.
Yes. Yes.
And
The I don't know what that structure is called. I don't know what that. Oh my goodness! You don't have to put that in the video. Just the dimensions, the size of this thing. You couldn't really tell. I couldn't tell from the outside, but from the inside, oh my goodness! But I guess I'm getting ahead.
no,
Okay.
you're not. You're fine.
Well, I know we had to go through a process before we even went into
Yes.
of like taking everything off. Not our clothes, but taking like
We had to take our
removing all our
glasses
stuff,
off. We had to take
glasses.
I had to take my Fitbit off. We had to take off any bracelets, anything, and we had to leave it on the table outside, because once you enter into the
Mhm.
hut, the ceremonial space, it's
Mhm.
sacred.
Yeah. We had to be what's that? Was it
Cleanse much.
Yeah. You had to use the smoke and yeah, just get that up off you before we went in. So I remember that. That was
Yeah.
awesome. Man, it was just
The seating inside. Remember, we didn't
Mhm.
sit together.
No,
Remember?
yeah, and I was kind of looking for that. Kind of threw me off. I
Yes.
think naturally I'm always sit with my wife and just like no, they had us on opposite sides and they had us in different places. So it was
Yes.
that was unexpected, but it was still cool. It was still awesome.
Yes.
It's very dark and shadowy, and not dark and like bad,
Mhm.
but just dark visually, dark, shadowy, and that just added to it for me. It just seemed like
With little spaces where the light came in,
Yes,
especially up at the
yes,
top, and
yes.
and oh my goodness,
and
I
that was
could talk
intentional.
about that.
That was intentional.
Yes.
That's by design.
Yes, it was so, we just, you do what they say do. We went in, and the men sat on one side,
Mhm.
and the women sat on the other side, and Abuelo, he just explained his, how the his temple was built, how
Yes,
the
how
significance,
the animals,
the animals, the spirit animals,
the
that were
animals showed them
involved.
initially where like the monkeys held up the pillars, and I think it was the eagles.
Eagle.
The eagles held up the roof.
The jaguar did
And
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was cool. So
Yes.
definitely metaphor and
He talked about he had wood, and where it was built directionally, it had to be in the east, right?
that was awesome.
The wood had to be placed. There had to be things placed in the north, south, east, and west. He just talked about
there were certain plants that he had growing
for protection,
and in the 4 directions as well. And this is gonna be, you're gonna have to include a lot of video because there's really so much that took place in that amount of time that like I'm running trying to recall every
yes, he
definitely in the jungle, man. I don't know what kind of.
He talked about his drum. He pulled out his drum. He played his drum. He talked about the space of being ceremonial and that there are times that you can sleep in there, but you know it's not really for that. He's talked a lot about the culture, his spiritual beliefs about the dimensions, that there's 4 dimensions above, below. I mean, he just it was so much information, knowledge received in this process. I loved when he drummed. That was the thing for me.
I think it was super cool that, like you said it earlier, be mindful of what you bring because you got to carry it up that hill, but you brought your drum. I think that was very timely because that ended up being a whole other thing of like Abuelo played her drum, blessed her drum, like it turned out to be very
I got
timely.
to play my drum, which I drum, I got this drum on Amazon. I've always wanted to have a drum made, but I got what I could, or not what I could, but I got my drum and I love my drum, and so I brought it here, and I brought my flute, which Jesus, goodness gracious, I'm sorry. Jesus taught me how to play my flute that I had gotten in Puerto Rico. And
that video's up. That video's up online.
Yes, it's awesome. But Abuelo asked me to play my drum and sing for him, and I play my drum and I just do whatever feels good to me, but on the spot in front of everybody he asked me to sing and play my drum, and I had never done that before. And I got stuck a little bit, so I'm looking to my husband like, help me, what is this song? Because there's a song that I love and I was trying to recall the song so I could try to drum the beat, and I couldn't get it, and so you're just like, play. Just play. And I did. And I just drummed and sang and drummed and sang. And then he joined in and then he ended it. And then, he blessed my drum. He, played my drum. And that was everything for me. And towards the end, we were sitting there and
the bird. Oh, my goodness.
The bird. Where I was sitting with the guide, he was like translating for me because my husband could really comprehend. And I'm so proud of myself because I really comprehended a lot of what was said.
You picked up a lot. You were commenting back.
Yes, without Jesus. And so we were sitting there, and Jesus and I were towards the entrance of the temple or ceremonial hut. I'm not sure what. I'm going to ask Abuelo what it's called.
Huge.
There was a bird, and I think it's a parrot. It was green. It had colors underneath. It was a beautiful tropical bird. It just came in. First, it was outside.
In the doorway.
Yes,
it came up to the hut because don't downplay this.
Okay.
At first, it appeared in the doorway. So imagine this. It's black in here, except for the campfire in the center of this temple. Right? It's just pitch black. It's shadowy. All of a sudden, you got this bird shows up in the entranceway. It's pitch black. It's light all in the doorway, and this little dark bird. I couldn't even tell the color of this bird. That's how black it was. But I could see it standing in the doggone entrance. And like the bird was just standing there looking, and he just was super curious about what was going on. And then he just skipped in and went right up to her, man. And the whole time I'm looking, just like, wow, man, like, wow, he just came right up to you, man.
He came right up to me.
I wanted him to come up to me too. Like, it was awesome. It seemed special.
It was very special. First, he went up to Jesus, and like, I don't know, maybe Jesus and this bird had knew each other before. I don't know, but he was, playing with Jesus, and then he just walked over to me. Now, okay, maybe you shouldn't do this. I don't know. And I've done this before with the horse, and it bit me, but it didn't like bite me or hurt, but it definitely bit me. I don't know animal body language, so I stuck my finger out like this, and the birdie came up and just like kissed my finger, and then he turned around and He bopped on out, and Abuelo's wife was like, "That's luck, like special or lucky."
That's
And
how I felt about it. Yeah,
man,
that's how I
I'm
felt.
telling you that it was everything. I'm sorry, I forgot about cacao. So we drank the cacao after Abuelo sang and drummed. He talked about his drum, and that was made of snake skin. We had to hold the once you're given the cacao in the bowl. Yeah, you can't sit it down. You can't sit the bowl down unless you drink it. Oh, also when you're in there, you're sitting on the ground. We were sitting on like palm tree leaves, but you're on the ground. So like we had this whole idea of wearing our white linen in there.
Oh my goodness!
Don't do that.
So glad we did. I definitely wanted to wear the linen. I felt like, oh, this is gonna be ceremonial. We need to come. And boy, look here, I'd have been drenched just walking up the hill. Like I'd have been coming up out of that linen so fast.
Yes, stick with the t-shirt, the exercise stuff, because you're gonna be sweaty and you're definitely gonna get dirty. And so yeah, we had cacao, and so you take cacao, and he makes these cups out of one of the plants that grows these like fruit.
It's like a gourd.
It's
like a gourd type of.
Super hard. You can like knock on it. So he makes these little cups, or you can make maracas out of them with those seeds, those red and black seeds. They can go in there, or with those purple seeds. Either way, you hold the cup. The cacao is, you hold it, and then everyone is given some, and then you hold the cup, and then you like say like whatever, if you want to like like blessing or anything you want, like healing from, or whatever I can't remember. You say you say that into the cup of cacao, and then when it's time to drink, you drink.
But we toasted them too.
We did toast. See, it's so much. What exactly. You can't take the camera. You can't record inside. So we're going off our memory. And it's this was several days ago after we've had a chance to digest.
It's about like trying to play every detail of it back. But I know we had to toast.
We did toast
each time. We toasted around.
We did. Yes, and we took it. We had cacao twice. We had
it twice. He asked the second time, like, "Hey, would anybody like more of the cacao?" And I don't know if everybody did. I know for sure we did.
Yes. So we had cacao, and it's just water and chocolate.
Sin azúcar.
No sugar, no.
Sin azúcar.
Yes. It's not horrible. It's just not.
Or just natural
hot chocolate.
It's natural sugar.
It's not sweetened at all. It's like baker's chocolate. Like I think of making a German chocolate cake, and you have to take that chocolate bar and put it in the hot water and melt it down. That's what it reminds me of, because it's like semi-sweet, but it's not.
Well, it wasn't really sweet.
No, that's what I said. It's not.
It wasn't really. But hey, the experience was 10 out of 10.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Definitely was. You know what? Now this experience wasn't necessarily spiritual, but it definitely felt like an accomplishment afterwards. Those hills in Puerto Rico, Mount
Brenton. Yes.
It felt like
just like that.
Like, my God, we really accomplished the thing. Like, and much so. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So much so that coming down the hill, it wasn't even no pressure. Like, I felt like I had accomplished, and I was so up about like, damn, we really just did this thing, and so going down, it was just like, next thing you know, I'm down, like, dang.
It was an adventure for sure, because we didn't know that we were going to have to go up in the mountain. We didn't know how far. We went with no expectations. I had seen the video, so I had an idea of what other people's experience was, and they spent the night inside, so it was completely different. But I still, I couldn't find the video to, so that you could see it.
I had no idea. But I will say, like, had we just pulled up to somebody's house with their gates and they marble, whatever, and this Shaman, it wouldn't have hit for me personally. This was like, boy, man, look here, you can't see this guy unless you're willing to have some skin in the game, because you got to make it up this mountain first and foremost before you can even have a conversation. You got to make it up this mountain.
That's right. So,
like, it was awesome.
Yes, awesome experience. So happy. It was everything. Even for our daughter, who she may not at this time understand exactly what happened and what this experience was, but that's my goal in life, to just create experiences that she'll be able to, draw back when she's older, be able to draw back on, or even just to say, man, my mom with with her foolishness, she had us up in the mountain drinking cocoa, or she'll say, she may not say cacao. She may remember, I don't know, but it was a great experience for me if I had got to do it individually, but it was amplified because I got to share it with my family, and I am all into the woo-woo, shaman, spiritual stuff.
I think it was good for all of us as a family. Like just like Mount Britain was, like accomplishing that and feeling like, we did this together, and like not one person was left behind. Like, all of us, even we had to stop, we had to whatever, but we still made it up there. Made it up there together, and we made it down. So like,
and there was
that's awesome.
With no incidents. Like it was definitely it's an awesome experience. So highly suggest if you come to
worth it.
Yes, come for the cacao, which is the ceremony. But if you want the spiritual healing, I'm going back to see Abuelo this weekend for a full moon lunar eclipse healing ceremony. So hope you guys visit.
Yes. Hit us up. If you in the land and we in the land. Hit us up. You know the vibes.
And if you guys want to, this guy is a fisherman. He fishes everywhere we go.
I'm on pescar.
And we travel. That's what we do. And so hit us up if you're interested in traveling.
Man. You wanna surf fish. We up and down this part, the Caribbean. We up and down with it. You wanna get out here on this water. You want a deep sea, we up and down with it. Yeah, man, tap in. If you in the land and we in the land, hit us up, man. We might be able to connect some things for you.
Most definitely. And if you want to, literally, we travel in the U.S. and out of the country. So if you, want to travel, wanting to know how we do what we do, or just need some traveling advice, tips, let us know. Hit us up. Thank you guys so much for watching our video.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tap in to Mia Sposa, man. She always dropping gems. And I'm gonna say, man, she always coming from a good place with it. So yeah, y'all tap in, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Pura vida.